Carson-Newman takes down Lincoln Memorial for the fourth straight meeting, 67-58 with Coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Wattrang. And Coach, first half, lowest scoring output in a half at any point this season with just 22 points, but you shoot 50% after the break. What kind of adjustments did you see your team make?
We started making shots. In the first half, we didn't make a lot of shots. Obviously, we were 3 of 14, I think, from the three, and we were getting to the rim. LMU did a great job defensively. They were very physical with us. Didn't have a lot of room to drive, but when we did get to the rim, I just think that we just weren't focused on making the shot. We were either trying to make contact or getting contact and not finishing through. So a lot of that's on us, but they do a good. They're a good defensive group, and they came in with a good game plan. And life was tough for us in the first half. And when you're not making shots, especially from the perimeter, they can kind of hone in and be an even better defensive team. So we were real disappointed. I think they shot really great in the first half, at least percentage-wise. We're sitting down at about 25%, and we're only down 3. So, we had a lively discussion at the half, but I knew it was in us. And, just through the pace of play, it's a long basketball game. First half was not great. Second half, much, much better.
How important were the shots from Braylon Weichel and Keely Rogers at the ends of quarters there in the second and third?
Well, they're huge. Obviously, Braylon's was more of a makeable shot. Obviously, Keely, that's the second time she's done that at the end of the third quarters, too, I think. But maybe she's got a knack for that and use the glass on that. Obviously, it's a huge momentum swing for us to get that 3 right before the buzzer. And obviously, Braylon's, came right before half to trim it to 3. And there were a lot of shots in the second half, actually, for us to finish with 11. So we finished 8 threes in the second half. Obviously, we're capable of doing that. We don't always do it. We don't always shoot great, but we know it's there. I was glad to see Campbell break out there. Had struggled a little bit, but she played great. With 18 points, we get our normal numbers out of Braylon, and there's just a lot of other people that are scoring.
Smitty goes bonkers for 34, but their leading scorer, Shakita Joyner, scores, I think, just 6 or 7 points in the game. Outside of the effort, I guess, on Smitty, how do you think about your defense's performance holding everybody else down?
It was good. There was a little bit of attrition on both ends. We had at the half 3 players with 2 fouls. They had a couple with fouls. They battle foul trouble. We had to battle foul trouble quite a bit. You had to rely on the bench. We went a little bit deeper in the first half than in the second. But we had a game plan in place. Smitty played great. When a player like that gets hot and she's feeling it, I think most of their points in the first half, 17 of their 25, came out of one player. In the second half, she continued to feel it and made some tough shots. But we had to switch up how we were playing just to try to contain them as best we could. And Joyner's hard to hold down. She only takes 7 shots. She scores 6 points. So that's a good job. But obviously, if Smitty's feeling it, that's the one they're going to try to go through.
Now it sets up the game at Catawba on Saturday for really bragging rights throughout the league, even though you're in opposite divisions. Right. First time around, you saw them here and you lost a tight one. What do you think needs to change from that first meeting as you get ready for the Indians the second time around?
Well, when we played them here, I do think that we're better. How much better, I don't know, but we were coming back from the Detroit trip, and we're in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. That made our 4th game in a row. Had an opportunity in the fourth quarter. It certainly didn't pan out for us, losing by 5, but they're a good team. They've run a lot of really good games that they've won here in the second semester. And it'll be a good contest, as we would expect, but I think that as the game has gone on and living without Lindsay and Mac, we've adjusted. I'm proud of how the players have done that, kind of adjusted how we've had to play people, and they're just doing a good job. And we find ourselves continuing to grind out and win games. Today was not our best performance by any means. There's a lot of things that were frustrating, but you find yourself on the winning end, and it just gives us a little bit of momentum going to Catawba. We know it's a tough place to play. They're obviously tops in that division over there, and this was not your question, but, we still have a lot of tough teams to play on that side of the division. Some really good basketball teams and some big basketball teams.